Sociopathy is an anti-personality disorder. It's loosely defined as the presence of 3 or more of the following qualities: callous unconcern for the feelings of others, gross and persistent attitude of irresponsibility and disregard for social norms and obligations, incapacity to maintain enduring relationships though having no difficulty in establishing them, very low tolerance to frustration, a low threshold for discharge of aggression including violence, incapacity to experience guilt or to profit from experience, particularly punishment, markedly prone to blame others or to offer plausible rationalization for the behavior that has brought the person into conflict with society. The DSM-5 that defines sociopath traits as a pervasive pattern of disregard and violation of the rights of others occurring since age 15 years, as indicated by 3 or more of the following: failure to conform to social norms with respect to lawful behaviors, as indicated by repeatedly performing acts that are grounds for arrest, deception, impulsiveness, irritability and aggressiveness, reckless disregard for safety, and it just goes on and on. That is the clinical definition. The way that it seems to be interpreted by the general population is, if you have no moral compass, then you're a menace to society and you should be pretty much put down. Now, a lot of the research and information on sociopathy and those types of anti-personality disorders are based on the criminality. So these are people who aren't necessarily high functioning and they give into those base impulses and they haven't learned to evolve. And I am one of the evolved. And the stigma associated with it can create a lot of internal conflict, even for a sociopath, because for me personally, I have emotions, but they're either extremely stunted or manufactured based on analyzing people's interactions and all that. Like, that's what my conscience is, that's what my moral compass is. It's manufactured to essentially fit to the best survivability rate in society. Like, that's kind of what it is. If I do something wrong, then it's not, I never have any guilt about that because I don't see things in terms of right and wrong. It's convenient and inconvenient. And usually, for the most part, anything that's considered wrong by society is usually going to be inconvenient for me to do. So the rational part is to, not do it. But I did make a support group for sociopaths because the only thing on the internet, with the exception of one website, is how to avoid a sociopath, how to recover from being with a sociopath, and that if you're a sociopath, then you're a bad person and you need to get treatment because all you're going to do is wreak havoc and destroy anything you touch. And I don't think that is the case. I believe that anti-personality disorders, regardless, even if it's sociopathy, psychopathy, whatever, is multifaceted. I believe that the only exposure that most of the world gets is of the extreme nature of that type of personality, because there's so much negativity associated with sociopathy that nobody's going to say, hey, I have a kid and I have a family and I go to regular functions all the time and I'm a sociopath, because they could lose everything. Like, they would all automatically be placed in a subhuman class because other people think that if you don't have morals or a conscience, that you're a monster. And I want to help dispel that. So I did create a support group and lifestyle guide just on, how to build relationships, like what works for people who are clinically or not clinically diagnosed as a sociopath, and just share tips and tricks on how to be the most productive and the most pro-social with the traits that we have. Because it's all viewed so negatively, but it has so many positive aspects. Like, that's why when you go into corporate America, they want sociopaths. They want people like that who aren't completely slave to their emotion to be making the decisions. So, yeah, that's why I put together my group, and it's kind of coming out of the crazy closet for me because I've never really openly acknowledged that I was a sociopath on a grand scale because of all the possible negative feedback. But I'm not worried about it.